It's time for another episode of Brandlove, and this one's already done my nerd heart good. In this episode, we're talking about Batman, but not only just Batman, the most recent iteration known as The Batman with Robert Pattinson. But first, let's learn a little bit about the Caped Crusader. Batman is an American comic book character that was created by DC Comics in 1939. After the wild success that was Superman, DC Comics, formerly known as National Comics Publications, requested to see more superhero stories for it to produce. Donning a dark cowl and a batwing cape inspired by Leonardo da Vinci's ornithopter concept, the Batman was born. Batman's story begins as a boy, Bruce, who grew up with a filthy rich philanthropic father who carried on his family's legacy of maintaining the estate that the Waynes lived in for generations. Unfortunately, Bruce's father and mother were killed by a street thug when he was still very young, leaving him an orphan. This traumatic event left a young Bruce with nothing but time to obsess over how to avenge his parents' death. That obsessive characteristic manifested his mind and body to become a master detective and an expert martial artist. This combination of traits makes for a dark, gritty, noir style of storyline that readers can relate to, and is probably why it's one of the biggest commercial successes in the comic book universe. Now on to the good and the bad. What Batman does well with the brand, they do really well. Dark, mysterious, and hints of sadness all make for a convincing universe that the Batman finds itself in. Knowing the backstory helps convey that noir-type vibe, especially in this latest movie. Original iterations of the Batman symbol had hints of yellow, I'm assuming as an homage to the light of the infamous bat signal, and I think that did well. However, most modern Batman shows and movies have strayed away from any color to encapsulate more of that brooding, dark look. Not many superhero types can pull that off, but that's what makes him unique in my book, and that counts as a win for me. The bad thing about Batman's iconic brand is that it's tried so many different iterations of what we've talked about today, just in different forms throughout the time it's been alive. From the wacky days of Adam West until now, the difference is dark night and day. It's hard to retain any semblance of brand image when you change from something silly to something serious like Batman has. But all that considered, somehow Batman has risen from the ashes like a phoenix. If a phoenix was a mammal and a superhero, you get where I'm going with this. However, some of those silly outplays that didn't fit still haunt the brand on occasion. Just ask George Clooney what he thinks about Batman. Now on to what I'd change. For all the evolution that it's had, I think the Batman brand is still trending in the right flight path. Someone recently actually sat down and thought, what makes this hero unique? And actually nailed it with his latest film. As far as I'm concerned, don't change anything from what you're doing recently. Thanks for joining me in this episode. Don't forget to check out our downloadable resources, which you'll see linked up at the top, and also check us out on social media. We'll catch you in the next one.